Hi guys, it's Emily and I hope that you guys are all doing well. So today on my channel, I wanted to start something a little bit different. I want to kind of call it like real talk or like girl talk or just something along those lines. I want to start a new series on my channel. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I have different series that I try to do, different playlists that I try to accomplish. So I figured, why not create a new playlist of things that maybe I struggle with or things I've gone through, and maybe it can help you guys. Maybe you're going through the same thing as well, and we can just kind of like talk about it and discuss it down below and help one another. And yeah, it's just all about like helping one another and just spreading love. And if you have been through something, like maybe you can help somebody else out, you know? It's about just not being alone, you know? So today I want to discuss my struggle with PCOS. So if you guys are unfamiliar with PCOS, that stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. So I just want to talk about my struggle and how I knew that I had it, how I didn't know I had it, when I knew I had, you know, just going through the whole thing and just sitting here and talking and girl chatting. So yeah, just grab some snacks, your drink, whatever you like to enjoy, and yeah, we're just gonna talk. We're just gonna be real with one another, okay? Because you know what? Maybe I could be like your big sis, you know? Okay. So, starting the video off very TMI, but somebody's gotta do it, you know? I'm 26 years old. I got my period. I got my Aunt Flo from Italy when I was, my punctuation, when I was 9. I remember the day, the minute, the moment. I remember everything. It was February 10th and I was 9. And thankfully I have an older sister. So I knew what it was. I knew I was going to be getting it. I knew what it would kind of look like and all of that. I remember when my sister got hers, she actually got it on Friday the 13th. I remember she was hysterical crying, and I think because of the way she reacted to it when I got mine, it was just like, okay, this is just something I now have to deal with. So I got mine a little young. Usually, I think the youngest you can get your period is 8, but don't quote me. I got mine at 9. Some get it late. I remember, I think my cousin got it a little later. But you know, you can get it as late as 16 to as early as 8. So I got it at 9. And I was, you know, just okay with it. You know, it wasn't like, I was like, oh damn, you know, I have to deal with this now. I was just going about my life and my days and this and that. I never had like an easy period ever. I always, you know, was the type to like not go into school because my period was really severe. I'm the type that suffers from severe cramps. This is also TMI. It's just like Niagara Falls. It's a flow. It's a flow. You know, somebody's got to say it. You know, some people, they don't have a flow. Some people have a flow. You know, I don't know what else to say. Okay, you get the point. So, I would always leak in school, have to go back home, this, that. Oh man, you know. So, I have like something written down here, so if I keep looking down, it's because I have some points that I want to get across, because I'm the type that just rambles on and on. So yeah, severe cramps, you know, had to take Advil. Midol just never really worked for me. Some people it works wonders, doesn't really work for me. So when I would have to say the turning point for me, when everything should have been looked further into, was definitely in high school. When I got into high school, I noticed that's when I really struggled with my weight. I mean that in regards to 1 minute I would, like, for example, I remember I started freshman year. So I'm 5'3". I remember I started freshman year like 120, 115, like in that area. By the time I had entered sophomore year, I was like 149. So I knew something was wrong internally, you know, to just gain that amount of weight. By the end of, I mean, I kind of kept everything kind of this, like, you know, leveled out through sophomore year, but by the time I got to junior year, I was around 150. So I would say I went up another 10 more pounds, which is like severe, you know, like it's not okay. And you don't even, you know, I wasn't really aware that I was even doing that. So then I remember when I had graduated senior year, I remember I was 169. 168, 169, yes, I remember. So it just kept going up. And, you know, I mean, I eat food, but I am not I'd have to say my struggles lie with chocolate and cheese. Chocolate and cheese, oh man, like pizza, just anything related to cheese and anything basically related to chocolate are, I don't know, I have like zero control over any of that, you know, and mixed with hormonal imbalance, it just makes you just gain weight even faster and even more. So I started going to the gynecologist, I believe, when I was around 18? 17? Like, let's say 17. Yes. Just for annual PAPs, annual, you know, figuring out if everything is okay. And I remember the first doctor that I had gone to when I was around 17, 18, he came out and said, you know, I think that you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, and he named a bunch of different things because of I was an example of somebody that might have polycystic ovarian syndrome. I was gaining weight like a yo-yo, like up, down, you know. Also at this time, if you guys don't know, I have a video on it as well. I'll link it down in the description box, or I'll also link it somewhere up here. I suffered extremely bad. Like, growing up, I had pimples here and there, but at this time in my life, like from the time of like 16 to early 20s, I suffered with adult acne. Really bad cystic acne. So you see how it's all sort of coming together: polycystic ovarian, cystic acne, and I don't know what's going on, you know, at this point. I'm just a girl that's just going about her life and her business and this and that. Also, I'm Italian. So we have extra hair just in general, but he noticed that I had like extra hair, like kind of like sideburnish extra hair, just extra arm hair, this, that, which is also a symptom of polycystic ovarian. I just remember he said it. We never did any type of like blood work, hormonal testing to see if anything was wrong. I think we did some type of like thyroid to see if anything was wrong with the thyroid. My father does suffer from Hashimoto's disease, and I have some background of some thyroid cancer in my family. So I believe we checked the thyroid, and the thyroid was fine. So I just went about my life and, you know, went to the next gynecological appointment, and nobody said anything again, you know, just you look good, everything is okay, blah, blah, blah. And then I remember I went to another doctor. I no longer was seeing those other doctors. I went to someone completely different. It was a woman this time. So I had gone to 2 men before. Not saying that men don't know what no, we're not saying that. I just had coincidentally gone to a woman this time. And I remember I had been complaining of just lower stomach, cramping, bloating, just so much discomfort, you know? And it's not normal, in my opinion, to constantly, 24/7, feel bloated, okay? So we did a sonogram of my abdominal and also a transvaginal sonogram. And that is when the doctor said, you know, I see cysts on your ovaries, you know. And that is when someone actually said it to me and diagnosed me with polycystic ovarian syndrome. Before, it was always just, oh, I think you might have it. It was never, you have it, you know. So this doctor said that I had it. And it made sense. It just all sort of just made sense. The research, the this, the that, you know, the body weight up and down, the hair, the cystic acne. And at this point, I'm still struggling with my skin, but my mom told me to go on something called Serious Skincare, and I will also link that video up above or down below, because that formula, that adult acne continuously clear by Serious Skincare, changed my skin. I will say it until the end of time, even though this is just like, this is a little hormonal guy right here. He's just like coming out to say hi. But if I come in close, I'm telling you, and this guy too, he's just hormonal. Because once again, I always break out in the T-zone. But when I say I used to have cysts all over my face, the whole chin, you know, the nose, the forehead, in here, this side over here, everywhere, okay? So that program changed my life, and I still use it to this day. It is amazing. I highly recommend it if you suffer with cystic acne. And if you suffer with cystic acne, you have to remember that maybe you're suffering from adult acne. See, that was what I didn't understand. Like, oh, maybe I just have acne. No, there's a difference between like that teenager type acne and adult acne. And I didn't realize that. I'm like, oh, I'm just thinking it's acne, you know? So that adult acne, Serious Skincare for the cystic acne is what changed my skin, and I highly recommend that. And also, you know, maybe look into, if you suffer from, you know, everything that I'm explaining to you right now, maybe, you know, look into polycystic ovarian and see if your doctor, always consult with your doctor. I am not a doctor. I am just sharing my experiences with you and what I have. But if you feel like you are similar to everything I am mentioning, then maybe ask your doctor if they can test you for polycystic ovarian, you know? So, yeah. By the time I was diagnosed, I was like 23, 22, 23 in that area, and I'm 26. So it took a very long time for someone to diagnose me and, I guess, tell me about how to treat it, or if it's treatable, or what to do. So what I learned through my journey is that it is not something that just goes away. It is something that you have. It's not life-threatening. It's not like something that's going to completely just, you know. The only thing that it can cause is complications when you are trying to have a child. I do know people that have it and have had complications, and then I do know some people that have it that have a child. So I guess it just makes it a little bit harder when trying to have a child, but it's not something that like is alarming to me, because there are different ways to go about having a child nowadays, you know, and then there's, you know, adoption, or in vitro fertilization, or there's yeah. So I'm not like sitting here and thinking about all of that right now, because I'm not like, you know, ready to even have children at this point right now. But that was something that I did think about, especially when my doctor had said that to me. But unfortunately, there isn't like a cure. There isn't just like a magic pill, and it doesn't just go away. I still deal with, you know, everything that comes with it, but it's not as, you know, it's not as severe as it used to be. Like my cramping, my bloatingness, this, that. I still struggle with my weight. You know, I wish that I had the answer when it comes to my weight, but I don't. I am the type of person, I'm like super sensitive. So if I spend like a whole day like just eating something that has a lot of salt and just this and that, the next day, I mean, I guess this could really happen to anybody, but I've noticed, I think I'm just a little bit more sensitive than the typical woman. Like I'll gain like just 5 pounds, like nothing. So I do try to keep my body stable, my weight stable, but then the next thing I know, I'm up 2 pounds. And I'm not going to sit here and say that it isn't discouraging, because it is. It really is. Especially, you know, I've always been the type to use food as a comfort as well, you know? So I guess my emotions play a part as well into me eating and overeating, you know? Which is just something that I have to personally deal with and obviously correct. So let me go into what I do to, I guess, help the PCOS. So the only thing that you can do to help PCOS is actually just take birth control. I know that there's just a lot of controversy that comes with birth control. You know, a lot of people think it's just in general not good for you. It can cause blood clots, or it can just kind of screw up what's going on in there. You know, some people, they don't believe in it. They don't want to take it. Unfortunately, I was told that birth control is basically really the only thing that can sort of regulate what's going on in there. Because it kind of, I'm not gonna just start like medically throwing out terminology because I have absolutely no idea, but basically it's just gonna, I think, you know, birth control in general just kind of stops and slows down the ovulation part of our reproductive system, so we obviously don't get, you know, pregnant. I mean, there's always that 97% chance you can, but I don't know, I think it just helps with the cyst part. I am not too sure, and don't quote me on that, but I am on, so I've been on like, I've basically been on every birth control that you could possibly think of. Okay? Just, I don't know, I've been on all of them. And with being on many of them, you have to outweigh like what works for you, you know? Some of them made me a little bit more like moody, some made me break out more, some just didn't work, you know? The last one I was on, I'm just gonna name the last one because it's the one that's like fresh in my mind. So I was actually on orthotricycline, and I was experiencing this really weird thing. I would almost like, it would come upon me, and there was no stopping it. So basically, it went like this. I would get a rush of nausea. My head would start pounding. I would get like chills and almost like feel like I had to use the bathroom, if you know what I mean. And if I did not find some type of toilet, I was going to vomit. So this was a problem, obviously, because imagine you're just like at work, or you're just, you know, on a date, and this just happens. This is not okay. So I went to my gynecologist, and she was like, that sounds like an abdominal migraine. And I'm just like, a what? You know? So I did some research, and I'm gonna make a separate video because I also suffer from chronic migraines. So what I did, and what she had told me to do, was when this was coming on, to take one of my medicines for my migraine, because she felt that it would obviously soothe the abdominal migraine. Now, abdominal migraines, I think that they happen more in children, so I'm just like, what? This is rare. But oddly enough, I would take my PRN written as needed, my rizatriptan. Sometimes I would take Simeptrin, and it would just help that. It would obviously not make me vomit, and the symptoms would slowly subside. So that was amazing. So that helped. But she also mentioned that maybe I shouldn't be on the orthotricycline, and I should just be on the orthocycline. Yes. And she explained that the tri was giving me 3 different types of hormones. So she explained that maybe it was feeding my body too many different types of hormones, and I was like getting nauseous because of that. So luckily, I listened to her and I started on orthocycline. So I am currently right now on orthocycline as a birth control. And I have not experienced that nausea thing. Knock on wood, okay? I have not experienced it, so that is amazing. What I can say about the orthocycline is it definitely helps when it comes to cramping, definitely. I still occasionally suffer with that like bloated feeling. I've had it like basically my whole life. I feel like I just drank so much water and ate so much salt. I don't know. I just constantly always feel like that. So that is just something that I've just kind of learned to deal with. But my flow, you know, some birth controls, it just like completely helps with the flow, if you know what I'm saying. And then some, it really doesn't affect it at all. So I've noticed that my flow is really just like the same. I know that that's gross, but that is human nature and what happens. So I've noticed it's kind of like the same flow amount. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to just everything in general, and I've noticed that it's been working for me. Also in conjunction with the birth control, that's my dog. Wait, maybe you'll see her. Billion. No? Okay. Wait. Billion. Hi! Come in! Okay. I have a Cocker Spaniel for you guys out there wondering. Metformin, yes. So I take metformin in conjunction with birth control. Now metformin is a diabetes medication. Once again, they have somehow found out that polycystic ovarian can lead to diabetes, which is something we don't want. So metformin is a drug that is given to usually people with diabetes. So, but it's also given to polycystic ovarian people that suffer with polycystic. So, those are the two medicines that I take. And other than that, I do try to watch primarily like what I'm eating. So yeah, that is pretty much the video. So now it's just, you know, just keeping up on everything and making sure I go to the doctor, making sure that everything is okay, making sure that, you know, being on that birth control is all right, and just going to the doctor and making sure that everything is a-okay. And that is what I recommend for you guys. Also, this has been going on for about like, I don't know, 2 weeks now. I've noticed that this is also TMI. This whole video is TMI. I'm so sorry. I've noticed that like my breasts have been hurting. They've been feeling really sore, and I'm noticing some weird sort of like bumps that just aren't normal. And then I realized, well, you do have polycystic, so maybe you have cysts in there now. My sister does suffer from cystic breasts, so I'm thinking I might have cysts going on in there, and that's what's causing that discomfort and soreness, and it's hurting. So I'm definitely going to be going to my doctor soon because I have to get an annual pap smear done. You gotta get it done, ladies. You gotta get it done. Get it done. So yeah, I just try to keep up with everything that's going on, especially, you know, my mom, she's had breast cancer. She's had a double mastectomy done. She's the strongest woman that I have ever known in my entire life. I don't know how she went through all of that, and she's she's still just, she's a superhero, honestly. But, you know, it's important that I personally make sure everything is okay just because of, you know, the family tree. So, ladies, that is the end of the video. Obviously, if I have some men out there watching this, hi. Make sure that your ladies or your mom or your sisters or whoever, you know, they go and they get checked out and make sure that everything is okay down there. Yeah, because it's important to make sure that your kitty cat is okay and everything is looking normal and all right. So yes, so this is just a new thing that I just wanted to start on my channel. It's just like sitting here and just, you know, like, it's not even about being real, it's about just talking and getting things out there that maybe aren't spoken about. Like, I didn't even know what polycystic ovarian syndrome was. I thought I was like an anomaly, like who has this? And then I realized that, you know, like, I think 2 of my cousins have it. It runs in my family. And then, you know, some of my friends have it, and I'm just like, well, but I don't really think anybody is talking about it. So I just think it's important to just create the conversation, and then we can all sort of share what's happened in our lives. Or maybe you're not even aware, and maybe you have everything I'm speaking about, you know, and now you know, like, okay, I'm gonna go and maybe bring that up to my doctor's attention. So that's the video. That's the video, y'all. Oh my god, I just said y'all. I just said y'all. Guys, I'm from Staten Island, New York. we don't say y'all. But anyway, yeah, Lillian, you want to say goodbye? Lillian? Okay. Lillian? Because I hear her like clicking through the hallway. So she says goodbye. And yeah, I love you guys so much. And thank you for all your love and your continuous support. And yeah, that's all I wanted to mention today. As always, check down below in my description box, because in there I've listed just different referral links and discount codes, and my music. If you didn't know, I'm a singer songwriter on the side. Recently just came out with a cover of Crazy by Gnarls Barkley. That's on my SoundCloud. But yeah, let me know down below if you like this idea of like a girl talk, like a girl chat, and we'll make it happen. All right, guys, I will see you all in my next one. Bye.